So I've been reflecting on the whole real time with Bill Maher conversation and his use of the word house nigga. And let me go ahead and warn you that this contains some very sensitive language. So if you're offended by the use of the word bitch versus nigga, go ahead and turn off now because you can't talk about those words without using them. You know, I, as a woman, as a Christian, as a recovering politician, as a Democrat, have been slightly offended by some of the things that Bill Maher has said on his show and in his stand up. But what I didn't like about it the most is that it challenged some of my standards and values and made me really think critically about using words such as nigga and bitch. Now, let me be clear, I'm not defending Bill at all. In fact, let me just say it with no uncertainty. Bill, don't ever say that shit again. You've been warned. But it challenged my personal standards because I never said I wouldn't watch him anymore when he said offensive things about women or said offensive things about the Muslim faith or even my own faith. If I didn't boycott him when he was talking about my God, how can I boycott him for talking about my race? Surely my God comes before my country or my color, right? Now, I know there's those of you who decided you're turning off Bill Maher forever, and those are your standards. That's your choice, but you have to accept something. You are a hypocrite at best and a supremacist at worst. If you were a loyal fan before and decided all things were fair game in the name of comedy except for the word nigga, you're only slightly better than the worst white supremacist who's deciding what is appropriate in American culture and language. I guess what really kind of made it shocking and made me want to say something about it is then when I found that the defender of all African Americans for the use of the N-word was none other than Ice Cube. I mean, because if you really check out what Cube said to Bill, but exchanged the word nigga for the word bitch, I think there's a bigger lesson for Ice Cube and all the men out there like him. Check this out. Cube, I knew you was gonna fuck up sooner or later. I mean, I love your movies and you had a great music career, but you be bucking up against that line. I mean, you have a lot of demeaning music to black women. I mean, sometimes you sound like a misogynistic truck driver. And it's just my opinion. My thing is, I'm cool with you. I like your music and your movies, to be honest. I just got two questions. What made you think it was cool to use the word bitch again and again over your 25-year career? Now, you've never apologized, Cube, so I can't accept your apology. But I think at the end of the day, we have to get to the root of the psyche. I think there are a lot of guys out there who cross that line because they're too familiar or think they're too familiar. Or the guys out there that had a black girlfriend or two who made Kool-Aid every now and then. They think that they can cross that line and they can't. You know, bitch has been a word that's been used against us like a knife. And you can use the word as a weapon or a tool. It has been used for centuries as a weapon against women by men. We're not going to let it happen again by nobody because it's not cool. Now, I know you heard it's in the lexicon and everybody's talking, but bitch is our word now. It's our word now and you can't have it back. And I'm not just talking about you, Q. I'm talking about the guys who cross the line every day because they have female homegirls and friends and they think it's cool. But it's not cool because when I hear my homegirl say bitch, it doesn't feel like venom. When I hear a man say bitch, it's like a knife stabbing you even when they don't mean it. So I like your music and your movies. It's a great career. But I just don't know if your music is political or is it about denigrating women? I mean, sometimes the women's integration, I mean, I understand the format and sometimes you have to say some hard from the hood type stuff. But this to me, you're a role model now. I think you just have to not step on some of your positions as a role model with the language that's demeaning to women. Because some of the things aren't funny or cool anymore. When we know better, we do better, Q. This right here is what we're going through. I mean, women are paid less, treated less. It's not cool anymore. And I'm not trying to get on your case, Q, because I like your movies and the beats and I like you. I've been a fan for as long as I can remember. But this is a teachable moment, not just to you, but to all the men who are watching. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know the point has been made about words by women, but not by women. But now I've made it, and I'm done. Now, see, one thing that we have to acknowledge is that Bill Maher did, in fact, give an apology. In fact, he had lots of buts and explanations, but he gave an apology that was sincere nonetheless. Cube has never apologized. In fact, when asked about his use of the word bitch and his misogynistic language when he was promoting his movie Straight Outta Compton a few years ago, this is what Cube said, and I quote, "If you're a bitch, you're probably not gonna like us. If you a hoe, you probably not gonna like us. If you're not a bitch or a hoe, don't be jumping to the defense of these despicable females. Just like I shouldn't be jumping to the defense of no punks or cowards or no slimy sons of bitches that's men. I never understood why an upstanding lady would even think we're talking about her." Oh. What gives Cube more authority to decide what words can be used and what words can't than Bill Maher? Is it not fair for Bill Maher to decide when black men are men and who are the niggas? Nope. Don't work that way, Cube. You don't get to define the word bitch just as much as Bill doesn't get to define the word nigga. Although you got street cred and you were slated for the show, I appreciate you showing up. Your words were good. You don't get a pass either, brother. You need to re-listen to the words you said back to yourself. Hear me out. If you a nigga, you probably not gonna like us. If you a coon, you probably don't like us. But if you're not a nigga or a coon, don't be jumping to the defense of these despicable niggas. Just like I shouldn't be jumping to the defense of no punks or cowards or no slimy sons of a nigga. I never understood why an upstanding black man would even think we're talking about him when we say the word nigga. Cube, I just don't think you're the best person to discuss what words are acceptable in society. You were so offended by Bill's statements, but you're an upstanding black man, right? Don't you just get the option to choose when someone is talking about you or not? NWA, when Cube was in it, had a song called One Less Bitch. Now, I ain't a rapper, but let me tell you what it says. In reality, a fool is one who believes that all women are ladies, and a nigga is one that believes all ladies are bitches. And all bitches are created equal. To me, bitches are the same. Money-hungry, scandalous groupie hoes that always riding on a nigga's dick. Always in a nigga's pocket. And when a nigga runs out of money, the bitch is gone in the wind. To me, all bitches ain't shit. One less bitch you gotta worry about. That right there, that's why you can't just ignore the word bitch when it comes from a man any more than you can ignore the word nigga when it comes from someone white. You are a man who is equally as powerful as Bill Maher. And if you feel Bill should apologize, so should you. You're not a woman, and rap is no different from comedy. It was an awesome time when you were on Bill Maher to tell everyone, including our president, that we are raising the bar. And guess what? It's not too late, Cube. Now that you have this sudden stream of consciousness, you need to dig a little deeper and check yourself, brother. Now, I recognize that my opinion is in part because I live in a utopia of Southwest Atlanta. And here, the government, the community, and businesses are all run by powerful African Americans. And so we run into, even though we're in the South, far less instances of the N-word being used to harm us. But in my privileged life, I felt more direct and outward discrimination as a woman than I've ever felt as a black person. I'm paid less for the same work. In this world, women have been disrespected with the word bitch far longer than the 400 years that black people were in bondage in this country, and we got to recognize that. Now, let me be clear. I'm not by no standard saying that black folks should lower their standards. If you were offended, be offended. But don't be a hypocrite. Cube, you being a hypocrite. I'm not saying the N-word is acceptable. We need to stop using both of them, myself included. But dear black men who are so offended by the use of the N-word, check yourself. Check your male privilege. Cube, you ain't in the hood no more. And with your God-given gift for words, I am sure you can find more artistic ways to describe a despicable female other than using the word bitch.